What's going on, everybody? We're doing our third and final game preview of the day. Now in this video we're going to be talking about the Jaguars and Titans. Now why the Jaguars and Titans? Titans lost last week. Jaguars won. Why are we doing a game that's 1-0 versus 0-1? Well, it's simple. The Titans played a tough opponent last week and they played them tough. The Jaguars, on the other hand, they thoroughly dominated the Houston Texans. 10 sacks. Leonard Fournette had a great debut. And they made a game plan where Blake Bortles wasn't going to cost them the game. So looking at this game and what's possibly some key matchups versus, some things that we're going to be looking at here. The Titans defense versus that ground game of the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars want to make a game plan where they can control the clock and they keep the ball out of Blake Bortles' hands to make mistakes. Now, Blake Bortles is going to be without his best weapon in Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is done for the season, torn ACL. So it's up to players like Leonard Fournette, Allen Hurns, Marquise Lee, guys like that to get open versus this Titans defense, which is very underrated. They held the Raiders to only 26. Now I know what you're thinking, 26 is not a lot, but the Raiders offense is great. The Titans were unable to run the ball effectively in that game, and I think that they're going to find tough sledding versus this team as well. The Jaguars defense is very underrated. Now they got 10 sacks last week against a very bad offensive line of the Houston Texans. Do I think they'll do that this week? No. They'll probably get a couple sacks, but maybe 2. The Titans' offensive line is one of the best as well. The Jaguars' offensive line came into the season not looking too great, and they had a great showing last week. Obviously, being able to run the ball is a huge step into making your offensive line appear better than they are when you can grind the game out and use a ground and pound offense. Now, I do not expect the Titans to only have 16 points this week. I do not expect the Titans to give up on the running game like they kind of did last week a little bit. I expect them to be able to run the ball more effectively, which was a shock last week considering that the Raiders' defense defense coming into the season was one of the bottom defenses in the league against the run and against the pass. I expect Marcus Mariota to be able to find Delaney Walker a little bit more, and probably use Corey Davis a little bit more. He has weapons on the outside, so it'll be interesting to see how they use them there. The Jaguars, on the other hand, on their offense, not much talent. The one talented guy they had, Allen Robinson, he's gone. So it comes down to just running Leonard Fournette and using maybe some other running backs in there as well to keep him fresh throughout the whole game. Now, some key matchups here is going to be that Titans pass rush versus that Jaguars offensive line. Actually, both sides, Jaguars pass rush versus the Titans offensive line. Both teams' pass rushes are not bad at all. The Jaguars very much improved theirs with the addition of Calais Campbell, who had 4 sacks last week. Dante Fowler, Malik Jackson, guys like that. They're expecting them to come in and get pressure on that quarterback, and that's what they did last week. I think it's going to be a little more tougher, especially when looking at the Titans' offensive line, which is very good at what they do. On the flip side, the Titans' pass rush is no slouch at all. It's going to be up to Blake Bortles to not hold on to the ball long and accurately throw his passes in there. Because this Titans pass rush can get after you and will find a way to get after you, led by Jarrell Casey, Brian Orakpo, and a couple of other guys. So it'll be interesting. Dick LeBeau is a mastermind at using different schemes and concepts to free up pass rushers. Now, another key matchup to look forward to is Titans defensive backfield versus the Jaguars receivers here. Why? Allen Robinson's out, obviously. So that frees up Adoree Jackson and Logan Ryan to cover other guys. They played very well against the Raiders' passing offense. That's a very talented passing offense too, with Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree. So it'd be up to those guys to find a way to. I would expect a lot of press from some of these guys, especially with the defensive backs that they have. I would expect some zone blitzes though from the defensive front here to confuse Bortles, who's not a very smart quarterback and a very inaccurate quarterback at that. The last thing to look forward to is the Titans running game versus that Jaguars defense in whole. Now, that Jaguars defense is very underrated, like I said earlier. But there's something that they do very well is stop the run. I think last year they were one of the best teams against the run. Obviously, numbers might be skewed when you're playing from... No, they're just one of the best pass rush defenses in the league. Especially with Calais Campbell in there and Malik Jackson, 2 run-stuffing ends there. So, Titans were unable to get the ball going last week on the run game, so I expect them to lean more heavily on DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry to stick to the run here, to keep grinding the game out. You want to have time of possession at the end of this game. You want to win the turnover battle. Those are things that I'm looking at the Titans to do this week and bounce back. Now, I said in an earlier video that starting the season 2-0 for the Jaguars here would be huge. The playoff chances increased to like 80%. Starting the season 0-2 on the flip side for the Titans, almost 90% of teams, I believe, don't make the playoffs. So, with the Texans winning last night, I don't expect the Colts to win this week. And this is a divisional battle here. If the Titans can win this game, you have a 3-way tie at the top going into week 3. And with 3 of those teams being 1-1. So, I would expect the Titans to come out hungry and wanting to score more than 16 points, obviously, that too. So, my prediction in this game is going to be Titans win this game 30-21. Why such a big discrepancy in the score? Well, I think the Titans are more have more talent. I think they will be able to run the ball a little bit. Not to great success, but they'll stick with it into the point where you can get Blake Bortles off the field. Not a very good quarterback, as we've seen the last couple of years. He does most of his damage in garbage time. There's not going to be garbage time in this game. I expect the Titans to have the ball for over 33 minutes in this game. Maybe over 32. 33 might be pushing it. I expect them to find a way to get a couple big plays from Mariota in the passing game here, using that play action. Now, 3 reasons why each team will win this game. For the Jaguars here, they're able to control the clock with Leonard Fournette running the ball effectively, getting over 100 yards. Blake Bortles is able to play within himself, complete probably over 58. Let's say 58 because he doesn't complete very many passes anyways. So 58% of his passes doesn't turn the ball over. And that Jaguars defense hunts down Mariota for the tune of 4 sacks. 4 sacks and a couple turnovers there. Strip sack, fumble, or an interception here. That's how I think the Jaguars can win this game. And on the flip side for the Titans, it's being able to stick to the run. If you stick to the run, you have to play action, and Mariota is very good with play action. And Mariota is perfect in the red zone in never turning the ball over in the red zone. And number 2 for the Titans is controlling the clock as well, because you keep your offense on the field, you keep their defense, you wear them down by the 4th quarter. And the third thing is causing Blake Bortles to do what Blake Bortles does, and that's turn the ball over. He doesn't have his best weapon. You find a way to stop that running game, so you force Blake Bortles to beat you. And Blake Bortles can't carry it. I don't think Blake Bortles can carry a team like that to a victory. So that's it. That's my breakdown of this week. Let me know if there's another game you guys want me to do. Those are my 5 games of the week. Make sure to check them all out. Let me know if there's some other games you guys want me to break down. I will look at those. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.